We'll continue with the paper solving technique series. Let's have a look at another question, and this question has been taken from P2, and it's a 12-mark question, and students, they find it really difficult to get 12 out of 12 in such questions. So let's have a look at it. I have actually taken an extract from the case study, because in P2 there is a huge case study, right? So I have just taken an extract so that I can use it as application in my answer as well. So let me read it for you. FO has been a private limited company for 20 years. It is owned and run by the Chan family and is located in country Z. In country Z, the secondary sector has become relatively more important as the country has developed. FO is a manufacturer of wooden furniture that is suitable for outdoor use. Now remember, you can underline the important information which is there, because later you can use it as application in your answer. This is a good practice, that while reading the case study, you can underline important areas of the case study. Okay, so the furniture is then delivered to customers in country Y using FO's own delivery vehicles. However, FO is considering changing to selling its furniture through either wholesalers or large retailers in country Z. The Chan family have the business objective of contributing to sustainable development. FO only uses sustainably sourced wood when making furniture. This is from local forests in country Z, and the wood is more expensive than imported alternatives. For many years, FO shareholders have reinvested profits to provide the finance for growth. FO recently took over 2 other furniture businesses in country Z and plans further takeovers. The Chan family plan to continue to control and manage FO after the expansion. The leadership style of these 2 companies is very different to that of FO, and their factories are located several miles away from FO in different regions of the country Z. FO need to manage all its resources effectively. It tries to use the same components such as nails, brackets, and paint for all its furniture designs. It is important to not run out of raw materials, and so orders to suppliers must be carefully planned to avoid late deliveries. FO want to keep wastage of materials to a minimum. FO also need to consider how many employees are required to complete each order. Now, this is the information which is actually given. So we have an idea that there is a business which manufactures furniture, and they want to expand as well. Okay, they are worried about late deliveries as well. They do not want it to happen, and they require less wastage as well when it comes to raw materials. And now they are going to take over one of the factory, maybe from their rival business, or maybe it is available for to be taken over, right? So let's see now. Let's have a look at the question. But before that, I have used red color for knowledge, blue for application, pink for analysis, and green for evaluation. Remember, in a 12-mark question, there are around 2 marks for knowledge and 2 for application as well, and the rest of the marks, they are normally for analysis and evaluation, right? So but remember, in evaluation you also need to use the information which is given in the case study to justify your answer. I mean, this is my way of doing it, and this becomes this makes it very easy to write evaluation. Like, whenever you are going to go in favor of one of the option, so you have to find out the information from the case study that can back your decision, right? So this is the easiest way, and you won't lose marks at all. Rather than giving your own justification, it is better to find out an information from the case study that can support your recommendation, right? So let's see how I did it. Now look at the question. Consider the benefits and limitations of the following 3 methods of communication FO could use. So the question is about methods of communication. Which method of communication would be more suitable when contacting suppliers about a late delivery, right? Justify your answer. Okay, so the options are email, mobile or cell phone, and letter. Now, how to do it? How to go about with 12 marks question? Now, the easiest way is that you can mention and explain one advantage of each option and one disadvantage of each of the option. But remember that you have to use application while developing your point as well, right? Okay, so let's start with email. So it is easier to send details. So this is my knowledge, and that is why it is in red color. Specification of outdoor furniture can be mentioned to avoid any confusion. Consequently, supplier can expedite the delivery process and FO can avoid failure to meet deadline, right? So that is the main issue. The issue is about the meeting the deadline or the late delivery that is happening actually. So email can help it out. I mentioned the advantage that detail can be given and any confusion whatsoever can be avoided so that goods can be transferred quickly. So this is how I developed that point, and I have used outdoor furniture as an application, right? Now moving onwards, now the disadvantage of the same option. However, and this is the best practice, that whenever you are going to talk about the other side of the option, that is the disadvantage or argument against it, always start with the word however, because it signals the examiner that you are talking about the other side of the option. However, due to internet glitch, message may not be received at all by the supplier. Again, I have shown knowledge. As a result, now I'm showing the impact. As you know, FO might not be able to manufacture before the deadline as new factories are several miles away. So that is written in the information that the factories are several miles away. So that could be a problem in that case, right? So I mentioned the disadvantage as well because of the internet glitch, and you know that it can happen. Now there comes mobile cell phone. Communication is fast and two-way. This is knowledge, right? Now the analysis, it would help FO to convey message as accurately as possible, as supplier can give feedback quickly in case of confusion, because mobile is a verbal communication and immediate feedback can be given easily if the supplier does not understand anything or if there is any confusion from the supplier side. So as a result, now I'm showing the impact. I'm into my analysis. FO can avoid negative comments on the website from the customers who order online. Again, because FO is being run, they actually receive orders online. So this is an application. You know that the customers, they do comment on if the service is good or not. So that can impact the image of FO as well. So I wrote that as an application. So negative comments can be avoided in that way. Now the other side of mobile or cell phone. However, in case of network issue, call might not be received. This is a disadvantage, of course. So you are not able to make a call, or maybe the other party is not able to receive it. Okay, as a result, now the analysis, late delivery may spoil FO's 20 years image. This can also be part of application, 20 years image. Remember, although I have not used the blue color, but still it can be used as application because it is mentioned there. It is relevant to the answer and is mentioned there in the information given in the case study as well. Now the third and the last one is letter. It helps confidential information to be communicated. Again, you know that nobody can open the letter, and it is received by the person for which it is sent. So that is the advantage of sending the information through letter. It remains confidential because emails can be hacked and the telephones or the cell phones can be tapped as well, but it can't happen in case of a letter. Okay, FO can communicate to the supplier that it is running short of nails, items such as nails, brackets and paint, because it is mentioned there and I have used it as application. Rather than using the word raw material, I have used specific words to demonstrate application to the examiner, right? So items such as nails, brackets and paint without having a fear of getting information leaked to competitors. This is important, right? As a result, FO can protect itself from potential threat, because if the competitors, they get that secret information, they can make use of it to get the advantage over FO. Okay, however, now the other side, the disadvantage, letter might reach late. This is knowledge part, right? As a result, supplier in a hurry may compromise on a sustainable wood, leading to bad image. Again, it is written there in the case study that the supplier uses sustainable wood. So if the supplier is not able to get it, so the supplier might be using some other wood which might not be sustainable, and that can spread a very bad image for SO as well if there is a delay there, and it can happen, right? Because the letter obviously takes time, and FO might be in a hurry, no? Okay, now there comes, after discussing the advantages and disadvantages of all the options, now we'll talk about the recommendation. And remember, in 12 marks question that appears in P2, you need to be very careful. And what is that? You need to justify your point of view. Okay, like you are accepting an option, you will give reasons behind it, okay, or the justification, but you have to mention why you are rejecting the other option. Remember, this is absolutely needed by the examiner, otherwise you won't get full marks. You have to reject the other option as well. So the simplest way is, rather than mentioning one reason for accepting your option and then giving reasons for rejecting the other option, the best way is that find a reason which can accept your option or which can give the justification for selecting that option, and the same point can also be used for rejecting other option as well. Like maybe one of the advantage that is found in one of the option is not available in other forms of communication. So this is how you can do it perfectly, and it won't actually take a lot of space there, although you know that limited space is available there. So this is the best way. Okay, let me read it for you. The recommendation: I believe cell phone is the best method of communication. I told you that you always address the statement of the question as the last part, that is in your evaluation. Never say that I believe that this is the this option is the best option or not. Why? Because you first have to make a ground. So how do you make a ground? By discussing advantages and disadvantages of all forms of communication, particularly in this question. So now you are in a position to make a judgment. So I believe cell phone is the best method of communication. I'm directly addressing the statement of the question. As time is money when it comes to issue of late delivery, obviously, right? And it is the fastest method in comparison to email and letter. Now imagine, I have used cell phone. Why? Because it is verbal communication and this is the fastest method. Now I have given the justification of the option I am selecting, right? And with the same basis, with the same reason, I am rejecting the other option as well. Like they are not that fast, letter and email, right? As a result, but again you need to develop your point, even your evaluation as well. As a result, quick delivery can be made so that employees in FO can have enough time to manufacture with extra care, and wastage of material can also be minimized. Now this is application. So I told you earlier that whenever you are doing your evaluation, you always need to find some information from the case study to make your evaluation big, to make your evaluation solid. This is the best way. So because it is mentioned there that the FO wants to avoid the wastage that comes out in the form of wasted raw material, so they want to reduce that, right? So I mentioned that yes, it has an advantage over other option, but it can also save the wastage of raw material as well. So now it can make my recommendation more solid because I have used the information which is given in the case study, and I'm telling you the examiner cannot reject it because it is already there in the information, right? So limited space can be used for that, and still you can get maximum marks. So that is how 12 mark question can be done. So for more videos similar to that, you can subscribe my channel and do watch my videos.